my NB left me bricked at my girlfriend's house. Okay, update guys. So, I got this pipe off. Let me actually show you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on the camera, but I don't know if you can hear how crunchy it is. Basically, it's because there's a whole bunch of rust and like small pieces of metal flake in there. And it's because these fittings will look like this, where you can actually, where's the torch? I don't know if you guys can see, but I mean there's very clearly a hole through that. And then that one unfortunately is the same story, and as I said, I think I did actually get a video. There's a hole right here on the where my finger is now, on the elbow. Anyway, it is a little bit of a annoying story to fix, but it is technically possible and not excessively difficult. Basically, these fittings with some wiggling and worming can actually be pulled out. We pull them out and then we replace all of the lines with new rubber lines so that it's not so crusty on inside the rubber, because that's what makes the top of the, or at least on my NA, that's what made the top of the radiator burst and basically get holes in the radiator. It is ideal if I replace the radiator also, because I don't know if you guys can see in there, but it's kind of brown and sludgy and gross. So I would like to replace this also. I don't have the money to replace this right now, but I do have the money to at least get the brass fittings, like I did for the NA, and change all the coolant lines. All of the lines are off except for this one, which I thought originally was an oil line, but after feeling it, it feels crunchy like, well, the water lines do. However, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but it actually goes down to the oil filter. Yeah, there we go. I'll highlight it in the video. So that goes down to the oil filter. Apparently, this car has an oil cooler, so it routes the water around to cool the oil temperature. That is impressive and pretty fancy for just essentially a normal little car. I'm assuming this is exclusive to the sports spec of this BP engine, so what was in the MX-5, and probably, I don't know what other cars had this specific engine. So yeah, that's just fascinating and cool, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Anyway, it's probably going to be a while until I go out and go buy these fittings, so I'll catch you guys up then. This, by the way, is also why I continuously shout to people that you should be running distilled water with coolant, because guess what? This was in there for maybe a month, and look how dirty this is. You literally can't even see like how deep it goes. My finger just disappears. That is disgusting. Now, I'll admit, when I put in this coolant, or water I should say, I just put in normal tap water, which I know I literally just said to not do. I did it because I actually wanted to start changing the coolant lines very soon anyway. I actually wanted to do it this month when I was developing the radiator shroud, the windscreen shroud, etc. for this car. I was going to try replace the coolant lines. I was hoping to not have to do the brass fittings just yet and replace all of those little fittings. But here we are anyway, so yeah. I feel like now is a reasonable time to quickly break and let you guys know that I have some new merch coming out. Wow, on screen now. Unfortunately, they haven't been printed for me just yet, but yes, anyway, moving on. There we go, cool, done. Okay, so we got this one out. That's already been tapped and drilled, that elbow bracket, T-piece, and we've just pulled this piece out also, and you can see that my dad's going to start tapping it now. I'm not going to show this. I have shown this before when we did the rebuild on the 1.6 NA. So yeah, anyway, I don't know what the next clip is, but on to that. So update, as you can see, the intake and everything is back on. I have some unfortunate news about the water lines. So I did replace them all with brass fittings. You can no longer see them because the intake is on. Unfortunately, that little elbow that came up, basically the T-piece that we got was way too long, and that it would have literally had to come out around like that, which then it would have got in the way of belts and etc, etc. Or we make the T-piece basically go this way and then up and then down. So that's what we landed up doing, and now I have a coolant line all the way up here. This is really ugly and really shit. It's basically just a temporary solution until I wait until they get the correct T-piece fitting. I'm not disassembling this to show you guys. Anyway, unfortunately now, it's pushing my intake out of place. It isn't hitting anything as far as I can tell, like for the fan blades or anything like that. So technically everything is clearing. It's just very annoying. Anyway, now we can actually get back to the original issue out of all of this, which is why the hell won't the car start? To keep everyone informed on that front, I did speak to somebody who has had their stock immobilizer fail, and he said it didn't really sound like that was the same issue. So now we're even more confused. Basically, we don't actually know. What we do want to do, I believe, this is the cam angle sensor. We want to test that the cam angle sensor is working. And if the cam angle sensor is working, then I have not a single clue. So, yeah. Don't mind this being zip tied on. The clip broke, so we zip tied it so that it wouldn't pop out. That could also be the issue. Who fucking knows at this point? As you can tell, I'm very irritated and not in the mood for this, but here we are. Okay, update time for you guys. If I sound a little bit weird, I'm sorry, I'm getting sick. So the coolant stuff is all done. We've now tried to start the car again. I did use the spare key to make sure that the exact same thing happens with both the spare key and the key I had been using. Make sure that little light comes up on the dash to show that it is registering the key, which both keys it is, and it still won't crank over. We did also test the power coming to the coil packs for both coil packs, to make sure that it was there. Power is there, earth is there, obviously, and what isn't there, unfortunately, is the signal. It's just not getting the signal. So I'm going to attempt to show you the wiring diagram now and explain myself. So as you can see here, forgive the dirty finger, this is our ignition coils. I believe, so we can see that both basically travel down to this fuse here, which this is a cooling fan fuse or something like that. It's not that. We did check the fuses. Also, this is just for the positive all the time, not the signal wire. The signal wire, where was it? Oh, up here. Basically, this is your ECU up here. And if we trace it back for the signal wire, it basically goes directly to the ECU. It's a little bit hard for me to show, but if you guys want to pause the video and try screenshot that and trace it yourself, then there we go. There's another one for you if you want to try trace that one. In essence, we're back to square one. It is either the ECU or the immobilizer, which, could you believe, I just don't have luck with MX-5s and ECUs. Wow. Anyway, so that basically means that either the ECU has corrupted, which I don't know if you can send the original ECUs for servicing anymore. I don't think you can, or at least locally here. There might be people overseas, but I don't think anything locally. And the immobilizer is coded to the ECU. So basically, either way, you have to change the ECU. So that's fun. Anyway, I'll catch you guys up after we've done a little bit more information, so I can just confirm everything that I've just said. And I'll let you guys know what's happening with the MB.